Hi everyone, my name is Didi. Welcome to this Fallout 4 tips video. Today I'm going to talk about some hints and some general overview of settlement building. I'm not going to go into specific things like power, water, how to attract settlers. I think they deserve their own videos so I can go in depth on them, and rather than make a 30-minute absolute monologue, I thought I'd just do kind of a high level one initially. Equally, if there is something specific you want to see me do around settlement building or something you don't understand, leave it in the comments below. I will 100% get to it and get something up there for you. But settlement building, for me personally, I really enjoy it. I've got absolutely to town on the Sanctuary, which is where I'm at now. I've built new buildings, I've built all sorts of stuff, and I'd love to do more, but actually I've made a few mistakes that I should really, recover from, or help you not to do as such. So let's talk it through. Obviously, the first thing you'll come to is this building, which has, if I can get through the door, which I've built myself, which is totally pointless, the workshop. It's this kind of random red lathe thing. You just press A and you get into the workshop menu or settlement building menu. Press X to transfer items into your kind of building queue, I guess, or your resources queue. It doesn't matter where you put it. You can put it in the weapons bench or the armor bench. They're all shared. It's kind of like a settlement transfer resource pile, so don't worry about that too much. Equally, if you're not actually by the workbench, don't bother running over to it, because you can just hold down the kind of select button, I'd call it, and that brings up the building menu anyway, so don't always run to that. And when I first started off in Sanctuary, I went nuts. I built myself a whole big weird cube thing. Isn't it architecturally beautiful? No. And it's totally pointless, because all you need to do is to stick some beds in the settlements, and that's it. Save your resources. Don't bother creating wonderful things. Alright, dog meat, calm down. Just stick some beds, and that's all you need. Another quick piece of advice is you can scrap pretty much anything. Anything in green, I wouldn't scrap. That's my first hint, because anything in green is actually something that you can create and is probably useful to people like those settlers. Anything in yellow, like this cupboard, it's scrap. It's nothing you can actually use, so just get rid of it. And it gives you an insane amount. 20 wood is massively useful. And you'll see I can scrap that coffee table if I want for 1 wood, but don't bother, because it's aesthetically nice, so do it. What you can do is actually put it in the store and go, okay, but that means that when you go back to tables, you'll see that, and if I find the right one, it should have a little 1 by it somewhere. Oh my god, how many tables are there? So you'll find that you don't actually need to build the table, because it already exists. Wow, that's a big table. And yes, and that's helpful to, if you want to move stuff around. So if you say, well, actually I put a guard tower in the wrong place, or I put a pylon in the wrong place, or you know what, I put this whole building in the wrong place, so let's just put it in the store. Hey, it's not scrapping it. And that's another hint. Don't scrap buildings that you potentially will use in the future, because actually I've still got, if I can find it, it's all the way to the right here, I've still got one of these, and you'll see by in the bottom of the interface it says 1, and that's because all I did was put it in the store. So I've still got all the materials for it, and that's great. It's great because it costs 20 wood and 40 steel, which is obviously quite a lot, and now I'm struggling to put it back where it was. Yeah, oh crikey. So yeah, you can put it back. No, wait, I'm just good. There you go, whatever. Boom. And that's great. So I haven't built it, I've just stored it, because if I was to scrap it and press X rather than B, I only get half the materials back, so I'm only getting 10 wood and 10 steel, so that's a bit rubbish. So stick it in the store, you might use it in the future. Equally, what can I help you with next? Okay, so to give you some hints on how to locate and move and build things quite nicely, shall I say, then there's this. So normally when you build, you've brought up the item that you want, you're moving around, you want to locate it, but you can't. It's not the end of the world. What I recommend you do is press A to build it, and then press B to come out of that particular one, and you can start to move whatever it is you've built around. Just press A again on it, and there it is. the further away you move it, obviously you kind of relocate your point of view, so that makes it easier that if you want to come around to the side or the front, just find the angle which works for you. Equally, if you start needing to manipulate the item, select it. You can use the left and right triggers to spin it around, reorientate it, or if it needs to go up or down in the air, and this is the magical bit, hold the left bumper button and A, if I could say bumper button, and then move the left thumbstick up and down, and it's levitating. And this helps you just put items on top of various buildings or whatever you want to do. Now, this also works really well that if I come out of that building interface, if you have random cool things that you found out there in the world, then you can start to manipulate those as well. So I've found a skull here, pretty freaky. I can move this skull and I can put it in various places. I'd love to kind of tack it on top there, but maybe I can't. Maybe I'll just, I don't know, maybe you can protect the bin. It's the skull bin. And there it is. And you can kind of move it, you can spin it. That's the wrong one. You can move it, you can spin him around, you can move it up and down as you want. And maybe I'll actually, that's a great idea. It's going to just overlook the entrance of my settlement. Cool. So you could actually just go completely mental with what you're doing. What's my next tip? So another cool thing that you may not have discovered is how to find the right materials that you need to improve your settlement. So, for example, you want to build this machine gun turret, but you can't because you haven't got any oil. Now, all you need to do, and it says at the bottom of the screen, is hit RB to tag for the search, and then you'll see the little magnifying glass comes up next to the oil. That means that when you're out there in the world looking for various items and you find something which has a component of oil in it, it shows up with a little magnifying glass on it and shows you that you need to collect it. And you can see there's the same with ceramic and oil, and that helps you actually pick up the right items that helps you then build your settlement. So another thing you can do is actually equip your settlers with better weapons and armour, and all you need to do is go in, talk to them, it will bring up a trade menu like that, and you can either take whatever you want. So I quite like a hat actually, so I'll take that, and maybe the squirrel on a stick because I haven't got enough food. But I do want to change that, and I'll give you a missile launcher and some armour and a helmet and a harness. Then flip over to the settlers menu by pressing the right trigger, equip the missile launcher, the harness, the helmet, the body armour, and hey presto, you got yourself your own badass trooper. Check her out. Go on, go get those raiders. Now you do need to give them ammo, so missile launcher is probably not the best one. Come back, give my missile launcher back. But yes, it's obviously you can build up your settlers to be bigger and badder and better over time. And my final tip is around assigning of settlers to different resources. So you can see at the moment this person is quite happy picking his things, and you can assign him instead. Well, you know what, mate, I actually don't want you to do your picking anymore. We need some defense. So go into your build menu and hover over the settler, and you can see it says command. So press on command, and then instead of that you can say, well, you know what, let's assign you to something else that needs like scavenging, and you can assign them scavenging, and just press A on whatever you've got with a red VATS boy on it, and there it goes. Just press A once. It takes a little while for some reason, and now the resource is assigned. So you hover off it, hover back on it, and I've moved my resources around. So you can change people from food to water to defense, that sort of thing. You'll find that if you build loads of turrets, that people or your settlers don't tend to manage them, man them very well. So you might need to assign settlers to guard towers. So literally just go over to them, hover on that person, go command, find an empty guard tower, highlight it, click assign. There's already someone on there, but there you go. And you'll see your defense rating has gone up from 86 to 88. Happy times. And you know what? I think that's probably about it. There's loads more to go into, as I say, with regarding to power, how to keep people happy, how to probably a lot more around security as well I could go into. But I thought I'd try and keep it light and short for this first kind of tip video. So around Sesamid. Hopefully you found it useful. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. And ideally, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care now.